Tell me now what you stand on. We stand on truth. Stand on truth. We stand on the rock. Stand on the rock. We stand.
Walk me through it. You're at the rodeo. The shirt gets thrown. What actually happens in that split second?
So it started before the split second. It started when there's a truck that drives around the arena, and it's throwing shirts to the audience. It wasn't just the shirt they threw to us. It was, I think we were like the third T-shirt that was thrown, and it came to our direction. And I say us because it's like the crowd in our section. So it's not thrown to a specific person like a lot of these people are claiming. I think a lot of these people, they've never been to a rodeo. They've never participated in a T-shirt toss. But anyhow, when that truck came to our section, that's when I just became laser focused, and I was waiting for the guy on the truck to throw the shirt. And as soon as the shirt left his hand, my eyes were on the shirt, and I followed it, and I leaned to the left, and the lady that was next to me, apparently, she leaned to the left, and we both stuck our hand out, and the shirt hit me because my hand was in front of her. And so I caught the shirt, I turned around, I gave it to my daughter. That was it.
What was going through your head when you reached for it?
Catch the shirt. I'm going to catch that shirt. I've been going to the rodeo for 4 years in this county, and I've been asked by my daughter every year to catch her a shirt. So this year, I'll tell you what was going through my head. This is the year I'm catching that shirt.
The clip shows you taking the shirt, then handing it to your daughter. Some people online said that read as taking something meant for someone else. What do you say to that?
Lies. The clip doesn't show me taking the shirt. It shows me catching the shirt, which is a big difference. You catch something in the air, that's one thing. You take something from someone, that's totally different.
You went back and patted her on the shoulder. What were you saying to her in that moment?
Well, I turned around, and I wasn't turning around to pat her on the shoulder. I turned around to see, who was next to me. At the moment when I caught the shirt, I didn't even realize who was next to me. So I didn't know it was a woman. Could have been a man. It could have been anybody, and I wouldn't have noticed because I was laser focused on the truck. The reality is, neither one of us was sitting in our bleacher seats. We both were at the rails standing, and I think there was nobody around us at the rails. It was just her and I. And so when I turned around, she actually pointed her hand towards my daughter and said, I think she said something along the lines, and now obviously not exactly, but something about as long as it was for her, she's fine with it. Like as long as it was for my daughter, because she saw me give my daughter the T-shirt, and so she was good with it. The lady was good with it. So then I kind of went like, if it wasn't for my daughter, I would give you the shirt, or I would have given you the shirt, or something like that.
Your own post asks if a man had been standing there instead. Would this have gone viral? Say more about that.
Well, I think that what we're seeing is a lot of women portraying or projecting anger that I think comes from past traumas, past experiences, past relationships. I think women have been hurt. A lot of women have been hurt by men. Not all women. There's some women that comment, logical and true comments, but there's a lot of women that have been literally like making things up, like just completely like things that aren't there. It's a 10-second video. It's not rocket science. Anybody can watch it and tell you what happened. But these women that are projecting hatred towards me from whatever past traumas that they've experienced are just making all these things up, that I jumped in front of her, that I snatched it from her, that the shirt belonged to her. Just all kinds of nonsensical things. And I just asked, I said, if that was a man standing next to me, would all these women still hate like this? I think it's a battle of the sexes here. They've turned it into a male versus female battle.
Your daughter ended up giving the shirt back. Was that your idea or hers?
So after I gave her the shirt and the whole pat on the shoulder thing happened, I went to sit down. The lady sat down. Everything was cool. And not even 2 minutes later, my daughter comes and says, "Daddy, I feel bad for the lady." And at that moment, she expressed that I can't remember if she expressed she wanted to give her the shirt or she wanted me to give her the shirt. I said, well, Jesus says it's better to give than to receive, so go give her the shirt. So I instructed her to go give her the shirt. And she goes, no, you give it to her. And she's very shy and timid, so she wanted me to give her the shirt. And I said, no, you go give it to her. Because really, I gave it to my daughter. And so if she wants to give the lady the shirt, then I want her to give it to her, right? That's something that was in her heart to do. So I taught her, hey, I agree with you. I'm all for that. I support that. Jesus says it's better to give than to receive, so go give it to her. So she did. Finally, she went and she tapped the lady on the shoulder, which I don't know if anybody's going to have a fit over that, right? My daughter tapped her, and so the lady turns around, and it was like the most amazing moment, Miguel. I mean, it's like she turned around and the lady just like almost in tears was like, no. I don't want to take the shirt. And my daughter insisted, and the lady had a friend next to her. And I said, hey, she turned around like to look at me like, no, I don't want to take the shirt. And I said, take it. It doesn't even fit her. It's an adult shirt, and her friend goes, she can wear it as PJs. And I said, no, please just take it. My daughter wants you to have it. And so she finally took it. She was reluctant to take it, but she took it, and she gave my daughter the biggest hug. And it was just the most beautiful moment.
Somebody commented that she looked embarrassed giving the shirt back, not proud.
Yeah.
How do you respond to that?
Oh, a lot of people commented that. A lot of people are saying things that, I mean, they act like they've known me and they know my daughter. They don't have a clue. My daughter wasn't embarrassed. She's never been embarrassed of me. My daughter, she loves me and she looks up to me. I'm her hero. She's always told me if she was on Instagram, if she had an account on Instagram, she would support me and defend me from all these mean women that are attacking me, or all these mean people that are attacking me. So I think it's funny. It's comical.
You and your wife talk about living a Christ-centered life.
Mm-hmm.
Does that shape how you're processing getting dragged online?
If I wasn't trying to live a Christ-centered life, I think I would have I would have lost my cool, because there's a lot of just evil people out there, and so I haven't if there's cussing or disrespect to a point where it's like not cool, I just block the person. But I don't engage in like cussing and calling people out and trying to put people down. I laugh at a lot of them, and then I question. A lot of people think that as a Christian that you just have to keep your mouth closed, and that's the problem, I think, in our culture, that everybody else can speak up except for Christians. It's like everybody can defend themselves, everybody can say their point of view, but if you're a Christian, shut your mouth. And I don't live like that. Like, I'm a Christian, I love the Lord, but I'm bold, and I question people. I ask questions. People that want to attack me online, I very respectfully ask, to give me some facts on their attacks. And a lot of these women, man, I'm telling you, they're just projecting their hatred of whatever has happened to them in the past against me.
If you could go back and change anything, would you?
No, not at all. I mean, it was a competition. I've been waiting for 4 years to catch this shirt. Whatever happened afterwards, my daughter wanted to give her the shirt. That's great. I support that 100%. But I caught her the shirt. She'll never forget that I caught her the shirt that day at the rodeo.
Have you talked to your daughter since?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm almost every day, I tell her about a funny comment that somebody makes. She just laughs.
Oh, so you actually show her the comments, the good and the bad?
Not all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of grown people that act like toddlers. I mean, it's just pretty embarrassing for I wouldn't show her the mean ones, but just some of the comments that are just funny. Like, there's a lot of women that are saying that I jumped in front of the woman. And I'm like, and my daughter's like, are they watching the same video? You know what I mean? Like, it's just funny.
What do you want people to actually see? I guess I'll ask this way. The people who saw the clip, what do you want them to actually understand from it?
Man, almost 110 million people saw the clip, right? And everybody's got their own way of seeing things. But just watch the video without your feelings and emotions in the way. Watch the video and take it for what it is. You know, it's a dad catching a T-shirt that's free, that's meant to be a game and a competition to whoever catches it in the audience, and take it for what it is. And I think that a lot of people have taken it for what it is. They've watched the 10-second clip and they're like, I don't see what's going on here. Like, I see a dad catching a shirt for his daughter and it's the sweetest thing. But then you've got all this hatred, man. It's like incredible. You can tell the people that have been hurt. And I say women, not because I'm trying to be like, sexist, but a lot of people that are attacking me are women. And they are literally putting themselves almost as if they are the woman that was standing there next to me. And if I am an aggressor that has abused them or cheated on them, or, whoever it is that has hurt them in the past, they're putting me in that role. It's like this weird psychological thing, man. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, they are the victim, I am the aggressor, and whatever past trauma they've been through, they're putting it in that 10-second clip, and they're projecting all this bitterness and hatred and pain against me. It's crazy.
Is this the first time you felt something you did got read totally different than you meant it?
No. I mean, that's people, man. We live in a world where people take things wrong all the time. I think that started to be more obvious when texting started. Like, when you talk, you have a conversation with somebody, you can read their demeanor, but when you text somebody, man, it can be taken so wrong. And I've had a lot of texts that I've sent people taken wrong, where you got to explain, oh, that's not what I meant. You missed a comma, and then it turns into a whole different. So no.
Is there a difference between how men and women got read in the comments from what you saw?
Oh yeah. Yeah. What I do see is, it's funny, man. A lot of men that are insecure and they want to impress girls, they'll just jump on the bandwagon and start hating and start saying mean things, just because I think they see like girls that are attacking me and they want to be like the hero. So they'll just jump on that bandwagon and then start attacking me as well. But men that are like, that have confidence and they have their own identities and they don't need to impress anybody, they just support it. They're like, I would have done the same thing. There's a lot of men. I've noticed that fathers that are fathers of kids, they know, hey, I would have done the same thing. But you've got these young single guys, or maybe these older guys that are single that are trying to impress girls, that they're just like attacking me.
You use the word projecting. Do you think that's fair to say, or does it risk dismissing how they felt when they actually saw the video?
I mean, all you have to do is read their commentary. It's ridiculous. They're definitely projecting. They are projecting whatever pain and hurt. And I'm not dismissing what they've been through, because they obviously have been through some kind of trauma that involves men. I'm just saying that that's exactly what they're doing on my comment feed.
Would you have posted a reaction video if it didn't go viral?
No, of course not. It would have just been a video that would have got lost in all the other posts and all the other videos. I'm doing a reaction video because I think this is an epidemic that in our culture, and this is all jokes aside, I think this is serious. I think that men stopped being men, like real men, And that's because, it used to be where men used to take their kids out, their boys out to hunt for food, right? And they started that, at a very young age. They started working. After that, we've evolved, and then men used to train their boys to work, whatever they were. If they were a carpenter, they teach their boys to be carpenters. If they were whatever they were, right? And now it's like you've got 25-year-old men living in their mom's basement playing video games all day. And so, men have stopped being men, and they've stopped respecting women and treating women with respect, and they've basically used women and abused women, and now we live in a culture that hates men. A lot of women hate men. They've been mistreated or abused by men. The feminist movement didn't help. And so now you've got a bunch of women that feel that they don't need men in this world. And so we just live in a man-hating society. And so that is, I think, what we're seeing here. It's an epidemic in our culture.
If your daughter brings home a guy someday and he does something like this, reaches out, protects, whatever, how do you want her to read it?
If she was the woman that was, hey, you should have just took your hand out. My daughters, I don't have any boys, so I've raised 5 daughters, and I've raised them. One of my daughters gave me a mug that said, "Thank you for raising me to be such a tough man, although I'm your daughter," or even though I'm your daughter, right? It's like, it was funny because I've raised them to know how to work, to do sports, to be competitive. So it would be hard to snatch a shirt from one of my daughters. And if they did, if somebody snatched a shirt in front of her, just caught it in the air instead of her, well then, yeah, you know what I mean? You don't cry about it. You win some, you lose some. That's it. That's the way we live.
What's something about that day that nobody's asked you yet?
Man, what's something about that day that nobody's asked me yet? I don't know what I ate that day. I ate corn dogs at the fairgrounds.
So if your daughter told this story to her friends, what do you think she say happened?
I asked my daddy to catch a shirt, and he caught it. And then he posted it, and mom posted it on Instagram, and everybody started hating. A lot of people started hating. She knows everything. I mean, we don't hide anything from her. She thinks it's funny.
Who in your life told you to just let it go? And did you listen?
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, in the beginning, there was a time where in the beginning, it was just kind of a shock, all the negative comments and all the attacks. And I actually had people call me and threaten me, and death threats and all kinds of stuff. And at that point, I had to make a decision, right? Like, we're either living in a free country or we're not, right? And so we either have freedom of speech or we don't. And so I had to make a decision. Do I allow the social media mob to shut me down and delete my post? I mean, they were demanding. Just today, I got a comment that said, "Delete that post right now." Like, I don't know what goes through people's minds when they say things like that. Like they're entitled to tell me that I need to delete my post. Let me give you an example, man. This one guy, right? Obviously, he's trying to be a hero and trying to impress the girls. So he's attacking me. So I go in his profile to see who he is. And in his story, he's got a video of him outside of a nightclub or a bar or something. I don't know where he's at, But he zooms in on this girl's butt, and she's got like really short shorts. And on her legs, there's tattooed "Daddy's Girl." And his story caption says, "I can fix her." Right? So then I comment back and I say, "Hey, you're attacking me for catching a shirt for my daughter, a free shirt for my daughter at a rodeo, and you're exploiting women on your Instagram story? How screwed up are your morals? How screwed up are your standards?" Right? Like, people like that, are telling me that what I did was wrong. And so how is it that we can use social media platforms to do all this crazy stuff, exploit women, show pictures of, I've had girls attacking me saying that I'm the biggest jerk ever. And then I go to their profile, because a lot of times I go to their profile to see who they are. And they're like, I mean, they are posting pictures that shouldn't even be legal to post on Instagram. And I'm thinking in my mind, what is going on with this world? I'm being attacked for catching a free t-shirt, which is, by the way, what you're supposed to do at a rodeo when they throw t-shirts, catch them. And these people can do whatever they want. And so I decided I'm not gonna let it go. I'm not gonna delete it. I'm not gonna let the mobs, quiet me down or make me disappear from the face of social media. I'm gonna double down, and I did.
It almost sounds like you were angry at one point.
I don't know about angry. I was more than anything like, okay, I'm gonna double down. Like, I'm gonna fight this battle. All they do is motivate me. Like, especially like the negative comments, they just motivate me to just keep talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna shut up. That's what they want Christians to do. That's why we have the problems we have, because it's like, I think a lot of these people go to my profile, they see I'm a Christian, and they attack that, and they want me to shut up. They want me to delete my life. They want to delete social media, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get louder. I had 70 friends, or whatever you want to call them, on Instagram before this happened. Now it's like almost at a little over 11,000. So all they're doing is just creating a platform for me,
Did your daughter know about the threats?
Yeah. Not all of them.
How did that make you feel sharing that with her?
I tell her what kind of world we live in, and my wife and I, we don't hide things from her, and I tell her this is the kind of world we live in, where when people don't have Jesus, they have hate. And they'll find any excuse to hate. And so even a video like this, she, like, at first she could not understand, like, what did you do wrong? And I said, it's just people have hate. They have pain. And I tell her, I explain they have hate because they've been hurt. And hurt people hurt people. That's just the way it is. It's a chain reaction. So she did know about the threats, some of them I didn't tell her.
Did you ever consider calling the police?
I actually filed a report.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was one I had to file a report because, I believe in the Second Amendment, and I have a lot of guns. And so I'm like, man, if somebody comes to my property, man, and they come to try to hurt me or my family, I believe in the Second Amendment. So I better have this on record, in case something does happen.
Did the rodeo ever reach out?
No.
After this?
No. They liked my video. I mean, I think this clip gave the Slow County Sheriff Rodeo the most publicity I think they've ever had. Yeah. But no, they didn't reach out to me.
Are there any plans to go back for the next year?
Absolutely, man. We already got our tickets for. There's 2 rodeos that we go to every year. It's the Sheriff Rodeo, and then there's the Mid-State Fair Rodeo. So we go to those every year, both of those. Yeah, this is. I'm gonna go and try to catch a T-shirt more than before now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna try to put it on video. And it's just fun. To me, it's funny. It's not like, oh, I did something wrong. I'm telling you, I'm going to continue to stand my ground because I did not do anything wrong. I did exactly what you're supposed to do. And you know what's funny? In the beginning, I went on ChatGPT. Like, this was like the day after this, all the comments and all the hate, and I was like, this is what I did. And I said exactly what happened. There was a woman next to me. We both leaned. I reached out in front of the woman. I cut. And you know what ChatGPT said? ChatGPT is not feelings and emotions. It's just facts, right? It says, okay, the reality is most of the people that are commenting would have done the same thing. And I thought, man, that is the smartest thing that anybody could have ever said. Every single one of those people that is in the moment, if you're in a moment like that, you're so tunnel vision, and anybody would have caught that shirt. If the shirt lands in your hand, you reach for the shirt. You're not gonna be like, you're excited, right? Here comes the shirt. Here comes the shirt. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead. How hypocritical is that for people to think that that's how they're gonna behave? Like, it's a competition. It's like saying you're playing football and you're like, oh, I'm gonna be courteous. I'm gonna be a gentleman. I'm not gonna intercept that that football. They're liars. They're liars, and there's a lot of people that are hypocrites that are accusing me for this. When, I mean, you look at their profile. That's all you got to do is take one glance at their profile.
What did you actually type into ChatGPT when you first asked it, like specifically?
Oh, I don't remember, man. It was like everything that happened. I went to a rodeo. There was a T-shirt toss, and my daughter asked me to catch her the shirt. So I walked down to the rails. The truck came by, threw the shirt, and I reached over. The shirt landed in my hand. There was a woman next to me. Apparently, I caught it in front of her, and I gave it to my daughter. And so I just kind of walked it step by step. And then I explained to it, to ChatGPT, that now after posting this 10-second clip, that thousands of people are attacking me online. So that's what I explained to ChatGPT.
Were you looking for advice from ChatGPT or just understanding of what happened?
I was in shock because first of all, I had 70 friends on Instagram before this whole thing happened, right? So to get, in one day, less than 8 hours, to get over 20,000 views at that moment, right? When we just posted it, and all these hate comments, I didn't know what was going on. And I was like, how do I respond to this? That's what I wanted to, like, what kind of, should I shut the whole thing down? Should I cancel my social media? Should I take the post down? I didn't know what to do. I was just kind of in shock.
What advice did it give you?
It said, which it's funny because it said to kind of like, control the situation, to turn off the comments on the video. So we turned off the comments on the video, right? And then all of a sudden it backfired because they started going to all of our other posts and started commenting on those things that have nothing to do with it, right? My wife made some bagels and she posted it because she makes homemade bagels. They're so delicious. People started saying, those bagels look raw, ugly bagels, but your family looks like monkeys. I mean, all kinds of hatred everywhere. So I was like, okay, let's turn the comments back on so they could just focus on the rodeo video. It was funny, man. This whole thing's been just such a funny experience. I've learned a lot, man. I've learned a lot from this experience, from people. People are interesting. Like, it is incredible how people think. The psychology of people, man, is incredible. Our thoughts are shaped. They're shaped by our past experiences, traumas. They're shaped. The way we think, the way we judge, the way we look, the way we perceive, the way we... everything.
Did those thoughts go through your head when you went into ChatGPT to ask or tell it what happened and then ask for advice or ask what to do because you were in shock? Like, what were you expecting from ChatGPT compared to what you got?
Oh no, I've learned this throughout this thing's been, I want to say, almost 2 months now, and it's still going. Like, when a video hits 1 million views, you consider that viral, right? After 100 million, we were just like, okay, we're over it, right? But now it's like almost 110 million. So if you consider 1 million views viral, after it hit 100 million and we were kind of done with it, it's gone viral 10 more times. And so I've learned this throughout the last 8 weeks, the psychology of people, how people think. I can tell you, Miguel, literally which women have been abused by men or mistreated by men just by the way they comment on this video. Isn't that crazy? And I can tell you which men are so insecure that they're trying to impress women. They're trying to be their heroes by the way they comment and they piggyback on comments. I can tell you which kids are raised right and which kids are raised wrong because of the way they comment. It's incredible, man. The psychology behind all this.
What's the most surprising place that the videos popped up, or a different country, different language, anything
Greece.
wild? Greece?
Yeah, when I saw it, there's an article in one of the tabloids in Greece. I was like, no way. Yeah, it's in Greece, Brazil, I think Germany. I mean, it's just New York Post, California Post, The Sun, it's in a lot of places.
At 110 million views, do you think it's still your story, or does it feel like it belongs to the internet now?
It's funny because a lot of people reached out, a lot of huge social media. I don't even know what to call them. You probably know better than I do, but there's like these big, huge social media companies that own a lot of. Anyway, they reached out to me, a lot of them, to ask for me to sign an agreement for them to be able to use the video, and so I kind of consulted with different people, and it was like at that moment they own it and they can do whatever they want, and so I just declined every single one of them because what I didn't want them to do was turn this into I already know what people want to do with it, right? These people they want to cause division, they want to cause it's the battle of the sexes, it's a race thing, it's a religious thing, they want to just cause division, right? It's a race thing. I've already been called a white man so many times. I'm not white. Both my parents are Costa Rican, and I've been called an entitled white guy that doesn't respect. This is the problem with America. These white men, it's like I've been called so many things. So to answer your question, it's still my story, because if the internet took it, they would completely cause division with it. And what I'm trying to do is show, like, hey, this is a father that caught a T-shirt for his daughter. That's it. Dad jokes is on social media. They wanted to take it. They wanted me to sign an agreement with them, and I didn't, because they want to turn it into like whatever they want to do with it to cause more fights and division.
Was there a monetary number that made you pause for a second?
No, there was never any monetary number or offers or anything like that. They just wanted to use it. Yeah, they never made me any offers on money, but money doesn't drive me, man. I make my own money. It's like I'd rather just be able to use this platform to talk about the things that are important to me. Jesus is important to me. Living a righteous life is important to me. Being a father, a family man, that's important to me. Working out is important to me. Training my body is important to me. So those are the things that I'm using the platform for now.
Do you think turning those deals down, turning those requests down, says more about you than the original video did?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, but people don't care about that. It's funny because so my cousin recorded this. He wasn't even supposed to be here. He came last minute on a business trip, and I said, "Hey, you want to go to a rodeo, man?" And he was like, "Sure." And he was sitting next to me, and he recorded this thing, and I don't even know why he recorded it, but he said he felt like I was going to catch the shirt, so he just pulled his phone out and started recording. And it almost seems like it was perfectly staged and everything. And then I thought about it, right? After, when my daughter came to me and she was going to go give the lady the shirt, right? And I told her, yeah, Jesus says it's better to give than to receive. I actually thought about recording that moment because I knew it was going to be a nice moment, right? And then later I regretted not recording it. And because then we could have posted that too, right? But you know what would have happened, Miguel? This wouldn't have gone viral because people don't care about nice things. I saw a thing that my daughter sent me on Instagram that it said, "Hey, we don't want to see 5 minutes of fireworks." You know how we just had the 4th of July? It said, we don't want to see 5 minutes of fireworks on your story, on your Instagram feed. But if your family gets into a fist fight at your 4th of July dinner, please show us that, right? That it's funny, but at the same time, it tells you where this world is. That's what people want to see. So if I would have recorded my daughter giving the lady the shirt and posted it at the same time as the other video, this would have been done a long time ago. Nobody would have cared. But people want to hate. They want to see fights. They want to see division. They want to hate. They want to attack. You get what I'm saying? It's sad.
Does your cousin realize he's the whole reason this is happening?
Yeah. He's in Costa Rica. He lives in Costa Rica. And he's just like every now and then he's busy. He's always moving around, and he sends me a thing. Hey man, I made you famous. You owe me. We just laugh about it.
What does he say when people ask him about it?
My cousin?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. He lives in Costa Rica. We only talk through WhatsApp every now and then, but he's a busy guy.
If you could talk directly to the woman in the video right now, what would you say?
That's the question nobody's asked me, man. And I appreciate you asking me that, because I have been trying to find that woman ever since. And so I'm gonna say what I've been wanting to say. Like, hey, I want you to say your side of the story. Because that woman was the kindest woman. She gave my daughter the most heartfelt hug. And it was the warmest moment. And so, man, I've been wanting to find that. And I know she's seen this video. Somebody has had to see this video that knows her and has told her about it. So I would love for her to come here to this studio and talk to me, and let's have an interview about what happened that day from her perspective. That's what I would say to her. I'd love to put that on social media and have people see that, because you know what it's going to show? It's going to show that that really there was never any animosity. There was never any hard feelings. There was never any hatred between that woman and I. And the whole time, the whole moment, was amazing. She had a great time with her friend there. We had a great time with my family there. At the end of the day, everybody went home happy. She took the shirt home. I would love for her to have the shirt on as she's on this set recording this interview with me, man. And just tell her, because it'll show all those people that just want to hate, man, that are supposedly defending her. There's no need to defend. There's nothing to defend. Wouldn't that be amazing?
What's the one thing about this whole story that 110 million views will never show?
They'll never show the moment that my daughter and her gave each other a hug. They'll never see that. They'll never want to see that. And I'm not saying everybody, Miguel, because there's a lot of good people that are seeing this video, and they're seeing it for what it is, and they're commenting and saying that, right? So there's a lot of good people, but I'm talking about the people that are projecting all this hate, men and women alike. They don't want to see that. They don't care about that. They don't care that happened. And so that moment, I wish that moment was caught on camera when this lady, almost with tears in her eyes, gave my daughter this hug, man. It was just the most amazing. And then she actually introduced herself to my daughter. She asked my daughter, "What's your name?" And my daughter told her, "My name is, and then she goes, "My name's Jolene." And that's why we know her name, because my daughter told me. She introduced herself to me as she gave her a hug. Isn't that amazing?
What's next for you? Does this change what you're building, or do you go back to normal?
This actually has shaped what I'm building. This moment, this 10-second clip has actually shaped now what I'm building, and I thank God for it. I thank God for everyone that has watched the video. I've actually prayed for the people, even the people that have hated and said the meanest things ever. I've prayed for them, And I've learned so much along the way in these last. Something like this has never happened to me before in my life, and it was a moment that really, I think, shaped me as a person, my family, my wife. I mean, this is like serious, when you're getting death threats to the point where you have to file a police report, you have a decision to make. And there's people that have been canceled from the face of the earth. You'll never hear from them again. You don't know what happened to them. This is so serious that some people will relocate. They put your name. The tabloids, they do this on purpose. They don't care. They're just they put your name out there. They put where you're from. If you look up Marco Caracas, it'll say Marco Caracas, real estate broker, Atascadero, California. But so it's something serious, and it's actually shaped us and made us stronger. And when we decided to double down, we didn't double down on our own strength. We doubled down on Jesus Christ, because we knew that, we know who we belong to. We belong to God, and we are his children, and we didn't do anything wrong. Not one thing. So that's why when people ask, a lot of people have asked me, if you can go back, would you change anything? People are like, would you do this again? If you had another opportunity, they were like trying to find a different answer. And I'd say, absolutely, I would do it again. And I wouldn't change a thing. That when you're confident in Jesus Christ, and you're confident in the fact that you are living a righteous life, you don't have to excuse that. You don't have to hide. You don't have to disappear, It's like, come what may, I know where I'm standing,
Yeah. Any last words?
For all the people that have said the meanest things, I just want them to know that I'm praying for them. The women that have been hurt by men, I pray for them. I pray they find healing. They're not going to find it in spewing out hate. They're going to find it only in Jesus Christ. There's a lot of hate in this world. And the only antidote for hate is Jesus. That's it.